Hey groomers, keeping your tools clean isn't just about looking professional. It's all about safety. Bacteria and fungi and all sorts of nasty stuff can build up on clippers, shears, and combs if we don't disinfect properly. I see a lot of groomers asking, what's the safest, most effective way to sanitize grooming tools? Some people use barbicide, some people use bleach, and others just give everything a quick rinse.
Yikes!
But today I'll show you my go-to cleaning routine using Rescue or Prevail disinfectant. A safer, pet-friendly option that keeps everything spotless without ruining your tools. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with clipper blades, because these touch every single dog and can collect bacteria, dirt, and even yeast. I don't soak my blades, and here's why. Soaking can cause rust, even with the best disinfectants. Instead, I follow a simple but super effective process. First thing you're going to want to do is blow out the hair. First, I take a can of pressurized air and blast out any trapped hair or debris from the blades. This is a super important step because buildup can affect how well that your clipper blades actually run when in use. So instead of using a liquid soak, I actually grab a Rescue disinfectant wipe and I wipe down the entire blade. These wipes are pet safe and hospital grade, killing bacteria, fungi, and viruses in minutes. Then you want to dry it off. Even though Rescue is technically less corrosive than barbicide, always take a microfiber cloth and wipe down the blade completely so that it is dry. No moisture equals no rust. Then you want to oil the blade. I apply blade oil to keep everything running smoothly, and that's not a pun. Disinfectants strip away lubrication, so this is just basically a non-negotiable. A drop or two on the teeth on the back of the blade is pretty much all you need. And then I turn it on to really get it moving. There are some blade cleaners, such as there's Blade Care by Andis, and then there's the Oster Blade Wash. I don't particularly like these or cooling. They're supposed to lubricate, but I don't think that they do a great job. Your scissors are one of the most expensive tools probably in your toolkit, so you're going to want to keep them clean without damaging the edge or causing rust. So here is my process. First step, you want to remove any hair or buildup from products. After each groom, I do wipe my scissors with a soft cloth or dry paper towel to remove hair, product, residue, and dirt. You're going to disinfect with Rescue. So once a day, I take a Rescue wipe and I thoroughly wipe down my shears. If I do need a deeper clean, I can spray a microfiber cloth with diluted Rescue disinfectant and wipe them that way. Then you're going to want to dry immediately because just like with blades, I always wipe them dry after disinfecting. Even though Rescue isn't as harsh as barbicide, as I've mentioned, leaving moisture on your shears can lead to corrosion. And then you want to oil the pivot point. A drop of shear oil keeps them moving smoothly and prevents stiff or squeaky scissors. Here's what I don't do. I rarely soak my shears in liquid disinfectants. Water and metal don't really mix well. Technically, you can soak scissors in diluted Rescue disinfectant, but it's not totally recommended. Now, Rescue is less corrosive, I know I've said it, than barbicide, but soaking metal tools, especially high-quality grooming shears, can lead to rust, dulling, and even potential damage to the pivot point. If your shears need disinfecting, a quick dip, so under 2 minutes, in properly diluted Rescue, followed by a thorough drying and oiling, should be safe. Just don't leave them soaking. But unlike clippers and shears, combs and brushes can handle soaking. And this is where Rescue disinfectant really shines. So here's how I disinfect my combs and brushes. So same as the other two, I always start by removing any trapped hair or buildup or debris that's in the brush itself. And then I fill a disinfectant jar or small container would work well with diluted disinfectant, usually a 1:16 ratio with water, but check the back of your product to find out. And then I let my comb sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. This kills bacteria, ringworm, and other nasties without being too harsh. Then you're going to rinse and completely dry. So after soaking, I do actually rinse my combs with clean water and dry them with a towel. And then I set them out to air dry. Now, if you have a wooden brush, though, do not soak them. Instead, wipe them down with a rescue wipe to avoid water damage. This is kind of the only one you're going to want to avoid. The one thing, though, that people often forget to sanitize are nail tools. But these can harbor a lot of bacteria too, especially if a dog has a cracked or bleeding nail. So I wipe them down after every use. I use the Rescue Disinfectant Wipe to wipe down not only my nail clippers, but Dremel after each groom. And Dremel bits, I wipe them down with rescue wipes and then dry them completely before using them again. Your tools aren't the only thing that needs disinfecting. Your workspace does as well. After every dog, I grab a rescue wipe and I wipe down my grooming table, clippers, or any other surface that the dog was in contact with. And then at the end of the day, I dilute rescue into a spray bottle and I spray down my tub, my table, my grooming area, and then I let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes for full disinfecting power. And then I wipe dry, or in the case of my tub, I spray it with water. Another thing you might be wondering is if you can run rescue disinfectant through a shampoo dispensing hose attachment. And the answer to that is yes, but with some precautions. Dilute it properly and make sure, as I said, you check the dilution rates on your sprayer as well as rescue's label. And I should mention that it is safe for tubs and floors as it's commonly used in vet clinics to disinfect large areas as well as kennels. So while rescue is pet safe when dry, though, it is best to rinse the surfaces that the dogs will directly touch. Make sure you flush your sprayer after use to prevent buildup inside the hose. Now, another thing you might be wondering is bleach versus rescue. What is the difference between the two? Can't you just use bleach? Between the two of them, I would stick with rescue. It's just as effective, but safer for pets as it's manufactured for them, and it's not going to damage your equipment like the way that bleach can. And let's be honest, it's a little bit better on your nostrils as well as your dog's. Keeping your tools clean is one of the most important things that you can do as a groomer. And not just for your dogs, but for the longevity of your equipment overall. With Rescue Disinfectant, you get a vet-approved, and they use it in their clinics as well, cleaner that is tough on germs but gentle on your tools. And speaking of tools, you might want in on the latest trends in this industry, what's in and what's out for 2025. Well, check out this video right here to stay in the loop.